Please give a very warm, warm welcome to Sweet Honey in the Rock.
I do remember, that's why I believe. I don't know why the rivers overflow their banks, and I don't know why the snow falls and covers the ground. I don't know why the hurricane sweeps through the land every now and then, standing in a rainstorm. I believe.
Sweet Honey is a group of women who come out of that legacy of the civil rights movement, coming out of slavery and the tradition of spirituals. All of those musics put issues on the table.
Sweet Honey is unique. It's the color of that voice, the passion, and then you pick up those words and you say, my, this is something I need to pay attention to.
There's something very primal in the human voice, reaching for its full song and its full message. We're afraid of finding the full breadth of our voices. And Sweet Honey not only gives us permission, they challenge us to do that, and they show us how.
My God calls to me in the morning dew. The power of the universe knows my name. Gave me a song to sing and send me on my way. Justice, I am my land, put up a hand.
We sing to offer a look at the world from the Black woman's voice. The world needs to know what it looks like to us, and that's why we exist.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled. Oh, all right, my voice sounds like my voice. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Sounds good.
My Jesus is all.
Yes, Jesus is all.
My Jesus is all.
Yes, Jesus is all.
He's my only.
He's my all in all.
Sweet Honey in the Rock is a group of 5 women who sing a cappella. It's not a voice that is often heard in mainstream society.
I'm so satisfied. My all, my all.
Sweet Honey sings great black music, which means traditional African songs. We sing gospel, we sing blues, jazz, we do hip hop. We sing everything in between, and we sing it a cappella style with a political ring.
No one has the right to hurt me, especially when they say they love me. Apologies don't make.
Shirley, as our sign language interpreter, is also part of the ensemble.
So I take
She is there all the time whenever we perform.
me today. Run to a shelter, run to a friend.
You got some women who turn our power and our instruments over so that there is a phenomena called Sweet Honey in the Rock.
Run for my life before
And it has been 30 years of doing it.
Since 1973, there have been 22 different women who have participated in Sweet Honey in the Rock. And the person that's been there since the beginning is Bernice Johnson Reagan.
We began our work in 1973, and in 1975, there was a case in North Carolina about a woman named Joan Little who was in jail. She killed her jailer who sexually assaulted her, and the state of North Carolina put out a dead or alive warrant on her. And this song was played for the first time. It's our first music on radio, Kojo Nambe at WHUR. He was in the news department. It should have been an indication that we were not going to break into the top 40.
That was a very tough thing that happened. And for it to be heard on airways, I was thrilled to death, because that meant that you could really talk about the truth. To me, Sweet Honey is the truth.
Along came this woman, not even 5 feet tall, charged in jail with breaking the law. And the next thing I heard, as it came over the news, first-degree murder, she was on the loose. Tell me who is this girl, and what is she to you?
Sweet Honey uncompromisingly sang about Joan Little and laid it out for all the world to hear, and saying, she is my sister. You know, that's it.
Tell me, what did she do to deserve this name? She killed a man who thought that she was fair game. When I heard the news, I screamed inside. I lost all my cool, my anger. I could not hide. 'Cause my Joanne is you, Joanne is me. I'm feeling it, hold the tiger.
For Sweet Honey in the Rock to do a song about Joan Little, they were clearly indicating that this group was going to chart a path that was not necessarily going to be compatible with commercial radio or anything else, but it was going to be their path.
Sweet honey in the rock. Sweet honey in the rock. Sweet honey in the rock. Sweet honey in the rock.
The birth of Sweet Honey in the Rock actually took place in the fall of '73. And Sweet Honey was named after we sang the first song.
Sweet honey in the rock. Sweet honey in the rock.
The song was based on a parable about a land that was so rich when you cracked the rocks, honey flowed from them. I'd never heard anything so beautiful.
Sweet honey in the rock. Sweet honey in the rock.
I've been photographing Sweet Honey in the Rock for 27 years. When it first started out, it was mainly singing in the black community. And now it's all over the country, it's all over the world.
Sitting
cappella is a challenging experience. First of all, you have to really understand that your instrument is in your body. When you walk on stage, you're on and you're on until it's over. And you realize that you have a unit of people who are relying on you to produce your sound.
There's no barrier between the group and the audience. We are unencumbered by having to walk out in front of a band or to deal with a band. It's just us, like we're sitting on a front porch. And it's a musical conversation that we're having.
We are in the upper room, and you know I'm with my love.
When you sing with an a cappella group, you actually have to learn dependency. I can hit this because I know she's going to catch me on this note. And believe me, it is fun to have somebody right there to pick up where you leave off, to come to your rescue when you're running a little short, or to back you up when you get going.
Oh, yes, I am in the upper room, and you know I'm with my
When you get ready to go to a Sweet Honey concert, you look in your closet.
Pick out the baddest outfit I can find.
Because you're going to a special event.
It's actually being a part of the performance, in a way, because Sweet Honey does involve you in the process.
In the morning, and you say, theoretically, you ought to be singing in harmony. It's a Sweet Honey concert. It's supposed to sound good. In the morning.
What is going on at a Sweet Honey in the Rock concert is that people are actually losing this kind of facade that we usually have. As adults, we'd like to keep our composure, and singing really breaks down that barrier. They really are developing a sense of community in that moment. It may be fleeting, but it's really powerful. It's something that I think we're missing in our society and in our culture today.
freedom of expressing yourself is much easier through music. And so if I sing and I can feel music, then music connects me to something that's beyond time and space.
Keeping the lights at a good level means that we can actually see the audience, and we want the audience to know that we see them. It's a circle of communication.
Sweet Honey in the Rock is a celebration of the voice. It's a powerful thing, and this is something that humankind has used since the beginning of time.
I've been in the storm so long.
I think first, in terms of my music, I'm born into it. I grew up in Southwest Georgia, and before I knew anything, I think I was sitting in churches where people were operating with all of the vocal power they could muster. And all of that singing was collective, people singing together, and voice was the instrument.
First off, Bernice Johnson Reagan is a PK. She's a preacher's kid. Her daddy was a Baptist preacher. And you know in the black church, if your dad is a preacher, you are there every service. In most cases, you are the congregation first. And you sit there night after night and you hear that kind of singing. When she got in the civil rights movement and these people were bound together, Bernice said, how can we celebrate this if we don't sing?
Bernice Johnson Reagan had a pivotal role in bringing singing to the civil rights movement. She, with what's known as the Albany Singing Movement, thought that song would be the way to connect different communities of protesters in order to speak across those kind of social divides. Song became the way, particularly when they had been arrested, for them to come together.
No, turn me round, turn me round, turn me round, ain't gonna let no injunction cut it. Turn me round and keep on walking, yeah, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
Well, the songs are a very important part when they actually relate the story of the movement and what's going on. And right now, we as a group are using these songs to spread the movement to the northern part of the United States.
Music allows people to sustain themselves, to go even further through these perilous times. People were getting killed. So music played an integral part in keeping that faith that keeps people going.
I give you now the Freedom Singers.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved.
Using song to stand in unison, in harmony, in solidarity with each other, was something that I think people are in awe of still today.
Singing everybody, we shall not be moved. Singing everybody, we're just like a tree, just like a tree, headed by the water. Stand up everybody, we shall not be moved. Stand up everybody, we're just like a
not uncommon at a Sweet Honey concert to do a series of songs from the Civil Rights Movement and to say to people, you better practice these songs. You don't know when you're going to find yourself in a demonstration next. And you might want to have a song to sing. So come on, let's practice this now.
When you see people applaud, hearing people go clap, 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 deaf people is in the hand waving in the air. I remember one time in particular, there was a deaf guy who, this was his first Sweet Honey concert. And from the first song, he started signing. Right along with me. I would sign and he would copy my signing. And so he was singing with us.
The sound check is really crucial for creating Sweet Honey in the Rock. Sometimes the bodies are there, but we left Sweet Honey someplace else. Did we fall apart?
Yes, we fell apart.
And we have to stay there until I have a feeling that, in fact, the group has arrived. And that has something to do not only with knowing where the voices are, but also is the energy there and are people listening to each other?
Somebody has prayed me over, somebody has marked my way, somebody has prayed me over. Somebody, when she's doing somebody has prayed me over, what are you doing?
Somebody has prayed me over, somebody.
On that one, I don't do somebody. I go somebody, or wherever it is. I go up.
We are not getting the contribution we need to get from you. When there's that, that's so important. And then the one, over. And it feels like the two parts cross each other.
Yeah.
But they're not crossing each other enough.
Vision set on tomorrow, and I heart wide open, mind clearly on the future, learning every single day. Somebody has prayed me over, somebody has marked my way, somebody.
And once we get out of the sound check, Sweet Honey is in the house.
There is a distinct approach to blending voices in Sweet Honey in the Rock. This is really based in an African aesthetic, where every voice has its own timbres, its own color, so that you get what is more like a mosaic. You actually get to hear a community.
My line is, and for the next 5 minutes, that's all I'm singing.
My part in Fulani Chant is on the top.
My line is,
One of the biggest challenges I face interpreting for Sweet Honey's singing are some of the songs that don't have lyrics. And I think about how an abstract painting that doesn't have a clear picture there, but it's color and it's expression. And I think about
The first performance that I did with Sweet Honey was at Battery Park in New York. 250,000 people. And before we went on, about 5 minutes before we went on, Bernice said, okay, we're gonna sing this, 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 and this. And the last this I had never heard. And she basically said, well, it goes like this, take it out of my mouth.
You know, you're growing up and you listen to the radio and there's songs you really like and you really don't know the words. So the song is going on and you're like, oh, and I know he, oh, yeah, that kind of a thing. So you just do the best you can.
And so I stood on that stage in front of 250,000 people taking the words out of her mouth. I've been doing community sings maybe about 12 years. It is an opportunity for people to come and for 2 hours be part of a choir that we make right there on the spot. Yeah, you got 3 notes and it alternates. So just pick one at some point and, you know, light is returning, even though this is the darkest hour, no one can hold back the dawn, gotta keep it burning. You know, some people will say, oh, I'm tone deaf, and fine, sing me your one note. And sing it with all the emotion that you have. That's singing.
He says, no, you know, don't worry about the, you know, any lyrics on the page. Rely on your heart, your mind, and your body to carry it, and you will.
Our voices are who we are, and so once we have an opportunity to freely let that go, we feel happy. Won't that be a time when we get over yonder? Won't that be a time when
Sounds merging is the creation of community. When my sound merges with yours, I lose my loneliness. And so, if you want to know that you're there in the world, your presence, you can sing. And the body sort of becomes, you know, like a light bulb. It lights up.
told you it was beautiful. One more time.
I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world.
This is my grandmother, Hallie Ellis Robinson.
You used to rock me in the cradle of your arms.
This is my father. And for over 60 years, he taught violin. But back in the 30s and 40s, he had a string trio. This is me when I was 4, studying the violin. I started studying at 2.5. My father's instrument was violin, so that was the instrument that I wound up playing. But I love the bass. When we went to church, my mother sang in the choir, but my father and I would sit together and he always sang the bass line. So I always heard the bass lines on the hymns and, I would imitate him sometimes, so.
Then I remember all the things that I was told.
I'm an only child, and I did not know that my parents had kept these things for me until after they died. Literally thousands of photos, some of them going back into the 1800s.
I thought that you were gone, but now I know you're with me. You are the voice.
Every time I look at these photos, I am learning something about our culture.
I know the reason, thank you.
Through the music that I'm writing, through the music that we perform in Sweet Honey in the Rock, I think is a piece of that, trying to contribute to who we are.
I know that who I am is numbered in each grain of sand. I know that I've been there.
In 1990, I wrote Wanting Memories and dedicated it to my father. Then when my mother died, and I found all of these things, I realized that in fact they had left me the very memories that I was asking for in that song and didn't realize that that was my story.
Harry Moore.